The quick answer is because of my daughter, because of my wife, because my family is from Catalonia. But if I had to answer with honesty why I'm still here in Barcelona in these awful and boring times, it would be because I'm 40 minutes in train away from the best football in history. I mean, if my wife and daughter decided to go to live to Argentina right now, I would divorce and stay here, at least until the Champions League final. Because the world has never seen something like this inside a football pitch, in no era ever, and it's very likely that it will never happen again. It's true, I'm writing this at a special time. I'm writing this at the same week that Messi scored 3 goals for Argentina, 5 for Barcelona in the Champions League and 2 for his club in La Liga. 10 goals in 3 games of 3 different competitions. The Catalan press doesn't talk about anything else. For a little while, the economic crisis isn't the subject on the front page of news. Internet explodes. And in the middle of this, a theory just passed through my head. A very strange, hard to explain theory. That's why I'll try to write it down, to see if I can finally grasp it fully. It all started this morning. I'm looking non-stop at Messi goals on YouTube. I'm doing it with guilt because I'm in the middle of the editing of the magazine number 6. I shouldn't be doing this. Casually, I click in a compilation of clips I've never seen before. I think it's another video like the other thousands, but I soon realize it's not. The clip is not about Messi goals, his best runs nor his assists. It's a strange compilation. The video shows hundreds of clips, 2 or 3 seconds long each, in which Messi receives strong fouls and doesn't fall to the ground. He doesn't dive or whine, he doesn't intentionally look to gain a free kick or a penalty. In each frame, he keeps his eyes on the ball while struggles to find balance. He makes inhuman efforts for the match not to be stopped, nor the opposite player to get a yellow card. There are a lot of little clips of fierce kicks, obstructions, stamps and cheating, reckless tackles and shirt grabbing. I've never seen them all together. He goes with the ball and receives a kick in the tibia, but he keeps going. He gets hit in the ankles, stumbles and keeps going. He gets the shirt grabbed and pulled by a defender, he frees himself and keeps going. Suddenly, I was stunned, because something was familiar for me in those images. I replayed each frame in slow motion and understood that Messi's eyes are always concentrated on the ball, but not in the sport nor in the context. Football nowadays has very clear regulations by which a lot of times going to the ground could mean securing a penalty or getting an opposite player booked because it could be useful in later counterattacks. But in these clips, Messi seems not to understand anything about football or about opportunities. It seems like he's in trance, hypnotized. He only wants the ball inside the goal. He doesn't care about the sport, nor the result, nor the loss. You have to look carefully in his eyes to understand it. He squeezes them, like if you are struggling to read a subtitle. He focuses on the ball and doesn't lose sight of it, not even if you would get stabbed. Where did I see that look before? It looked familiar to me, that gesture of unmeasured introspection. I paused the video, zoomed into his eyes, and then I remembered. The eyes of Tatin, when he lost his mind for the sponge. When I was a child, I had a dog called Tatin. Nothing moved him. He wasn't an intelligent dog. When thieves broke into the house, he just looked at them while they carried away the television. The doorbell sounded and he didn't seem to have heard it. I puked and he didn't come to lick it. But when somebody, my mother, my sister or myself, grabbed the sponge, a yellow sponge to wash the dishes, Tatin went mad. He wanted the sponge more than anything in the world. He died for taking that yellow rectangle and carry it to the dog bed. I showed him the sponge with my right hand and he focused on it. I moved it side to side and he never stopped looking at it. He couldn't stop looking at it. It didn't matter the speed at which I moved the sponge. Tatin's neck would move at identical speed through the air. His eyes turned into attentive, intellectual eyes, like Messi's eyes, which stopped being the eyes of the scatterbrained teenager and for a few seconds turned into the attentive side of Sherlock Holmes. I discovered today, watching that video, that Messi's a dog. Or a dog man. That's my theory. I'm sorry that you made it this long with better expectations. Messi is the first dog that plays football. It has a lot of sense that he doesn't care about the rules. Maybe he doesn't even understand them. Dogs don't fake and dive when they see a car coming in their direction. They don't complain to the referee when a cat escapes them. They don't want the garbage truck to be booked. In the beginning of football, the humans were like this too. They went for the ball and nothing else. Colored cards didn't exist, nor the offside rule, nor the away goals were more important than the home ones. In the beginnings, people played football like Messi and Totin. Afterwards, everything got very strange. Right now, everybody seems to care more about the bureaucracy of the sport, its laws. After an important game, people take a week long to talk about the legislation. Did Juan get booked purposefully so he could miss the next match and play El Clasico? Did Pedro really fake the foul inside the penalty box? Will they allow Pancho to play as stated by the clause number 208 that says that Ernesto is playing for the U17? Did the coach order to overwater the pitch so the opponents would slip and break their cranium? Did the ball boys disappear when the game was 2-1 and appear again when it was 2-2? Will the club appeal Paco's double yellow card in the tribunal? Did the referee correctly add the minutes that Ricardo lost by protesting the sanction that Ignacio received because of Luis time wasting before the throw-in? No, sir. Dogs don't listen to the radio, don't read the news, don't understand if a game is an unimportant friendly or the final of the championship. Dogs want to take the sponge to the dog bed, even if they're tired to death or if the mites are killing them in pain. Messi's a dog. He breaks records of other times because only until the 50s the dogman played football. Afterwards, the FIFA invited us to talk about laws and articles, and we forgot how important the sponge is. And one day, a sick boy appears, like the day a sick monkey stood upright and mankind history started. This time it was a kid from Rosario with apparently some disabilities, unable to say one phrase after another, visibly awkward, unable to almost anything related to human guile. But with an impressive talent to keep and control something round and inflated and take it to the net at the end of a green prairie. If people let him, he wouldn't do anything else. Take that white sphere and put it in between the three posts all the time, like Sisyphus, over and over again. Guardiola said after the match in which he scored 5 goals, "The day he wants, he will score 6. It wasn't a compliment, it was the objective expression of the symptoms. Lionel Messi's a sick man. It's an illness that moves me, because I love Totin, and now Messi's the last dog man. And to watch attentively that illness, to see it evolve every Saturday. That's why I'm still in Barcelona, even though I'd prefer to be living somewhere else. Every time I climb the Camp Nou stairs, and I suddenly see the brightness of the lightning pitch. That moment that always reminds us of our childhood. I say to myself, you have to be very lucky, Jorge, for liking so much a sport and be contemporaneous of its best version, and on top of that the pitch where it happens is so close to you. I enjoy my double luck, it's my treasure. I'm nostalgic of the present moment every time Messi plays. I'm a fanatic of this club and this historic time, because I think, on Doomsday, all the men that have ever lived will be reunioned to talk about football, and one will say, I studied in Amsterdam in 1979. Another will say, I was an architect in Sao Paulo in 62. And another one, I was a teenager in Napoli in 87. And my father would say, I traveled to Montevideo in 67. And another one behind him, I listened to the silent Maracanã Stadium in 1950. Everybody will tell the story with pride until the night is old. And when nobody is left, I will stand up and say slowly, I lived in Barcelona in the times of the Dogman. You wouldn't hear a thing, it would be silent. Everybody else will lower their head and God will appear dressed as the Last Judgment and pointing at me saying, you, the little fat one, you are saved. Everybody else, to the showers.
Immens Messi, encara 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 Messi, gol, 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 no m'ho podia imaginar, no ho he vist mai això, no ho he vist mai, increïble, quina jugada!